Yay!
Hey everyone!
Hello.
Back again.
YouTube!
Man, that was a great session we just ran right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh god, I
Right there, isn't it?
have streamed it, and so I'm getting double audio lead.
Wow.
Oh, there we go.
Wow, that's crazy. I think it was kind of wild that the GM managed to apply all of those special effects after every single dice roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah! Foundry's amazing.
Foundry is this session brought to you by Foundry.
Foundry VTT.
That's right, Foundry. We're lying to you right now.
That's their slogan.
Truly, the way that people have been like, so this is like entirely scripted, right? Everything that this has all been pre-planned out, all of the dialogue. Foundry contacted us in advance and kind of handed us the script for Decolonize.
Yeah.
Performed.
That's right. With the Foundry teleprompter app, you too can get all of it.
I fully believe that is a mod you can add into Foundry.
It is genuinely very modular.
What making they doing? I am! Oh wait.
I am! Oh! It's
It's
like he's back in the room with us.
like I am. This is a fun session to watch. Yeah! I'm glad. I had a lot of fun editing this one together. But yeah, everyone, welcome to the first Q&A fan appreciation, fan art stream, yada yada of Decolonize. It's really great to see you all in a live chat and interact directly with people, which we have not been able to do so far because it's all pre-recorded stuff. I do think Foundry could do with a live studio audience, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I think actually does exist. I think there is
Yes.
a Foundry extension that lets you add a laugh track and claps.
I thought
That's
you were going to
amazing.
talk about the real Foundry module that actually implements chat into the fucking Foundry chat bar.
That
is
also
real.
exists. Yeah.
Yes. So then you need to get them a soundboard, like basically tie on the macro bar. You tie a click that makes the soundboard go off, and then the chat can click laugh track whenever they want. That sounds like a great idea.
Such a roundabout way to do Twitch sound effect redeems, but I'm into it.
Yeah. It's jankier, more terrible, and more abusable, which is everything you need in a chat integration system.
Yes.
Content RPG.
Yeah, for real. So anyways, let me just do the quick thing so people know the names and the people on the thing and stuff. I'm Christian, I GM, I play Malinius, I play Matatak, I play all the other little guys, and the big guys, and Morgash. And yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
was
that.
about to ask, do you play Morgash? Are you responsible for that one?
No!
Oh, okay. Damn. That's good. I had strong words for that, man.
Save him! Who's streaming right now? Who's that guy?
Oh wow.
The guy
Hey,
who plays Stray Gay.
I'm Aloha.
Oh,
I
wow.
play Stray Gay. I'm also the guy who recorded all the camera footage of the wild glowing camera footage. Raw, uncaptured, unregistered hypercam. Deep in the dungeon. And I'm also streaming right now. Hello.
I will pass it over to channel owner and number
Oh my God,
one
me?
man. Yeah.
Yeah, number one. Hi.
No.
I'm number one. My name is Jay. I play Yayamelo Yayo. Additional, however many additional Yayos you want to add for emphasis. I'm the one who made the game system that you are seeing on display right now. Christian is a fucking miracle worker and made it not only incredibly digestible but comprehensible through all of the incredible editing work. Right, I forgot that the bit was this is live unregistered hypercam and there is no editing and we just do this. No, I am breaking the bit temporarily to say that the tremendous amount of work that he put in makes the system very digestible, very comprehensible, and I appreciate the fuck out of him. We actually released a new version last week over on Patreon. It's up for free if you want to check it out. We're currently updating it. It's gonna have frequent updates that we're basically testing out on the week by week. So yeah, if you want to check out the game, please go over there. I will put it in chat.
Okay.
Perfect. Yes. We got 2 more players. Let's start with Tiny here, who plays Arcat.
Yeah, hi, I'm Tiny. I play Arcat. I spent 6 months in Gloin Society to learn their culture better, and also because it was a game show, I would have gotten $1,000 for just surviving. But yeah, it was a joy to play in Decolonize Dungeon. I'm still in it. I'm still here. People have not picked me up from the mountain. Please.
You're gonna get lost in the mountain at this rate.
Yeah.
And last and certainly not least, we have the most fabulous man I've ever met, Neon Caster as Gartrinus.
Hi everybody, I am your oh gosh, I should have cleared my voice before I did introductions. There we go. Hi, I am your androgynous android late night DJ Nathan Blades slash the Neon Caster, tabletop RPG designer, streamer, voice actor, and general internet ne'er-do-well. I normally say you can hear me as the voice of Captain Oromar Vale on the Campaign Skyjacks podcast, but more importantly than that, to be honest, you can hear me as the voice of Gartrinus Kana on Decolonize Dungeon. I have worked a little bit with wider members of the Stabbiness troupe before on previous projects on my own AP shows, but it has genuinely been a personal performance bucket list thing to work with y'all on a project like this, which has been genuinely a dream come true. From listening to No Smarts But Hearts to being on a Q&A stream with more people than ever watch my streams listening to me is wild. So thank you very much for having me and having me involved in this. This has been so sick.
And they do stream, and not only that, they also have a system they're working on that is rad as hell, and I'm excited for them to be able to show it off to everyone.
Yeah, let me know when there's a sensible time to go and plug that. I'm happy to do it at the end.
We'll save that
when,
for later.
Yeah.
I need to save bragging for my friends for strategic time, as instead I wanna shift to one more person, a very important. I guess 2 more people actually.
Yeah, do it. What the fuck?
What am I talking about? First, let's go with Neko, who is the main artist for Decolonize Dungeon, someone who has done an intense amount of work and has done a majority of the stuff you see on screen in terms of visuals.
I'm drawing them live, don't you know? It's every single pose.
It's really fast.
Hello, I am Neko. It's been great fun doing all this. One word of advice to anyone doing this: don't choose an art style that means you scribble in every single bit of shading.
As pretty as it looks, it is definitely bad.
I love the juxtaposition versus early on of it. It's so fast. It's so convenient too.
It's so fast for icons.
It is. It really is.
And then you increase the scale to portraits and then CGs and so on, and suddenly it's like, uh-oh, everything needs this.
It's all of it.
Especially redacted.
Redacted. Do you know the tall characters just take up physically more space on a canvas? So it takes extra long.
Yeah, they are just literally larger on the screen.
That's why I think tall people shouldn't have rights.
Damn.
You're so yeah.
But you're
okay,
right
cool.
there.
Exposing the tall people in this call.
Okay, I see how it is. Wait until Brendan's not around to say this, huh?
I'm telling on you. I'm telling all my tall friends.
And also in call we have Bisectro, who is the artist who did all the backgrounds in the opening, or most of the
Almost
backgrounds,
all of
except
them, yeah.
almost all of them. Yes. But the other one being Mask, who is not here right now.
Hi, I'm Bisectro, or just for ease of pronunciation, just call me Renee. I did a lot of the backgrounds for the opening.
You absolutely killed it.
Yeah,
They're
that's
Thank
unreal.
you.
They're so colorful. They make my brain happy.
The opening brings me a big smile to my face literally every time we watch a new episode. It's so good. For those who did not attend Gen Con, which I can understand, it is very expensive, when we did our kind of like world premiere of like the opening episode and a bit of Decol, and some of the crew in this call had not seen the animated opening prior to that moment, and we were all like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. We were knocked on our asses. Like, it was unreal. I made the mistake of not grabbing a chair. So I was standing up next to Neko, and the animated opening hit, and I'm like, I grips the wall. I begin to get the vapors.
I was so surprised seeing it.
Literally
No one told me.
unfucking real.
Yes.
And one more person who will be in call in a little bit for sure, but also is the one who headed the opening, doing a whole bunch of animation, art director and otherwise, is...
Hi, I'm Onichi. I did the animation directing, and I just got back.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Absolutely incredible work.
so good.
So if you have any
Insane
questions
work.
about the opening and otherwise, feel free to put them in chat. We will get to them once she has a moment to breathe. So, we're gonna go through. I think how I might wanted to do this was just kind of like maybe start with some questions. We have some good ones. It'll help kind of guide discussion. We might ramble a bit at certain points if we have something we really want to talk about. But we'll go through. And I already received some fan art that I wanted to show near the end of stream. If you have some yourself, you can go put it in the live chat in the Discord, or otherwise, like, I fucking email it to decaldungeon@gmail.com, and we should be able to take that and put it up. And if you don't send it in now, then it's all right. Get it next time, whatever that is. So, yeah, let's see. We do have a few questions that people already posited, and I wanted to try to maybe get to those first. So if that's cool, let's actually just get on to that. So first question, let's just get into it. We had what is your favorite part of the editing process? I can get through that one pretty quick. It's the sound effects, actually. It's so fun. I would say that portraiting is like also really fun when I'm doing like all the dumb gags and stuff, like for a good last episode when Gaia was like running directly across the screen, and I kept doing the pauses and pans. That's great. It is counteracted by the fact that doing 90% of portraiting is really tedious, and honestly probably the most difficult thing left in production because I automized everything else. So sound effects is the best continual thing, but it was a lot of fun to make the presets I used for roles and otherwise.
I'll grab any questions I see in chat as well and just add them to the Q&A.
Yeah, sounds good. So we had another one, which any fan-made item ideas like monsters, characters, theoretical, biological that you love. We're gonna see a couple of those at the end actually, and yes, any of the ones that just take the setting and roll with it are some of my favorites. I love that stuff. We do have a question for players, which I'll toss there for. Someone had asked, who is your PC in the party aside from your own? I think that might have been meant as a more of like, I'm still trying to pick that one out in my brain. I think it's probably something to do with like, who do you think like, you know, your kind of PC sort of like was, or maybe an influence for them or something like that?
I can definitely talk about like because every OC and tabletop RPG character, assuming people are like me at all, are like pulled from a bunch of other pop culture references and personal obsessions, and then just rolled into a little ball. And I mean, I think I really like, in general. Oh, sorry. The best way to explain this, for people who have seen me kind of post about this on the Discord, I've mentioned a handful of times that I'm not a high fantasy kind of girly. I always really enjoy kind of contemporary settings. But one thing I do love about fantasy games are like bards. I always find that style of being a performer really interesting. But the image of just like, I'm just a guy with a lute is like, we've been there, we've done that. What other kinds of like artistry can you channel into making a well-rounded character that can do things? And I was like, Taylor, somebody whose art form is making clothes and that is their performance art of a thing, sounds like fascinating. Also, you'll probably realize this as this goes, and we've kind of talked about it a little bit, for a handful of us as players, our relationship to the subject matter, in the name of Decolonize and so on and so forth, have channeled in different ways in how our characters look and behave. And there's some bits and pieces about Cartrinus's background that I have just kind of lifted from my own personal experience in ways. So it is, my version of a bard, but also my own, I guess, social insecurities channeled into one guy.
For me and Yayo, I was always like, once Christian pitched the idea of the game, because we knew about pretty much like the other party going in, like the party of heroes and adventurers going in. I'm like, okay. There was always this interesting thing that fantasy games pull up, particularly like, I think this is more a video game than a tabletop thing, but it's still fun to pick apart of, you're going through the dungeon, and your adventuring party has been killing goblins, just piles of goblins, hundreds, an egregious number of goblins, and then you come across a shop space, and it's like, cool, we're playing For the King, and we just found the goblin merchant, huh? What? Why is there not a dissonance between the idea of we have found the goblin merchant, the one that has discovered capitalism, and is therefore morally acceptable to us, versus all those guys that we just ran a bloody line through to get to this point? And I'm like, I want to play a character that is aware of this absolute dissonance and is trying to navigate that reality in any capacity, is trying to understand what it means to be like, okay, there is a special quality to this of being a merchant, where it's like, in the early game you see it, that Yayo has some strong opinions about the power of capital and the like. I wanted to take a look at this from the other angle, and combine that with there's this wonderful character in Grand Blue Fantasy, actually, who is like one of the main, she's like this merchant that sticks with you for most of the game. And she will inexplicably show up in the most dangerous of locations. And it isn't before too long that you realize this one lady, despite being the character that takes all of your money, having no physical power herself, is actually one of the prime movers and shakers of this setting, motivating the main characters to, like, get shit done in their increasingly ludicrous quest. I'm like, okay, I think I can roll these two together into one ball, and that ball is Yayo. I did. And like a pinch of Kamen Rider, just a little bit, only as far as the Yayo kick goes.
Of course, yes.
That's the final spice on top of the equation.
The chemical X, you could say.
Yes.
I guess I could. Oh.
Yeah. No, keep going down the group.
I guess I could take over and explain what how I got around making Arcat. I wanted to make someone that was from the Galoin side of the community, not just like a passenger. She worked for the Lich straight up, and I want to explore how that's going to work out for a Galoin that obviously is not in a great position, but obviously has done things that aren't great as well.
Yeah.
We're Stray Gay. A lot of weird stuff. I feel like a lot of what inspired Stray Gay's character is like my own history as someone who's mixed like IRL, right? And the sort of isolation and suffocation that comes from that, right? Of not really belonging to either culture that you were born into, right? And how that comes across as just, typically it's just like you are, for my case, you are the Asian friend to the white guys and the white guy to the Asian kids. And so it's this kind of thing where it's like you can never meet someone on even ground. and that's kind of where the idea for Stray Gay kind of formed, on top of me like listening to like a shitload of Kurt Cobain interviews for some reason.
And that one panel of Denji Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man with his mouth wide open. Yeah,
where his mouth wide open, where he's just like, huh?
Yeah, I feel like everyone also kind of sprung in a bit about their personal like experiences and also those aspects and how it links to the main prompt of Decolonize. So I've seen a lot of people asking that question too, and that definitely kind of feels like everyone kind of sprinkled it in a way, or at least talked about something in different ways about that as well through their characters, and everyone kind of got to explore something, which is pretty cool. I think Neon, you mentioned how you had a personal experience as well about
I can elaborate on that. So you know, digital forms, especially with the Stabbing This channel, you don't see our faces very often. I'm a black guy in real life, while both my parents are with this accent. Who knew? Everybody who's British is white, right? The number of people that show up when I'm doing VTuber streams and be like, "Are you actually black?" And I'm like, I
you know, honestly, fair question nowadays. I'm gonna be real, but yeah.
I mean, I guess there's a lot of VTubers who race play like Japanese people. But I'm like, I guess, second generation British. Like, even though both of my parents have Caribbean history, I didn't grow up in Barbados at all. So whenever I go and see family there, it is quite abstracted. A lot of what I know about Caribbean and Bajan culture is academic, rather than necessarily informed by like lived experience. And I definitely remember as like a teenager being kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna learn all this stuff about, you know, local culture. I'm gonna get the slang, say that I'm liming, like to say that I'm relaxing with friends and everything. I'm gonna bring that, and they look at me like I've grown a third head, like, yo, this slang coming out of your mouth is just incorrect. Don't do that. And I'm like, I thought we had a connection there, and there is, but it's also, you know, different from just like I did the reading and now I'm a part of the in-group. And so a lot of how I've kind of looked at gotchaness in Decol is kind of like, yeah, he's gone to the dungeon assuming that the moment he's connected with his people, capital H, capital P, that he'll just fully understand the full Galoyan experience and everything will be perfect. And it has immediately not been perfect.
I love it because it's just like, it's such Gwalic meeting all of you. It's just like, I don't know, it's kind of more Gwal if you really think about it. It's just instantly that kind of like thing of like, it's...
My
that
first
was a really good
immediately fucked it. And yeah, exactly that. But also, you know, I think as hope, this is generally, despite it's going to get real fucking sad in places, I won't tell you where, but there's always a hopeful undertone under all of this, and the way that Gotchanus genuinely manages to connect not just with the party, but with the Galoyan community in the mountain as a whole is something I genuinely get still emotional about. So look forward to that shit, I guess.
There's such a good line kind of about this later, but again, no spoilies. You'll see it later.
Yeah.
But yeah. Shifting tone a bit. Most chuckable Decol character?
Yayo.
Yayo.
What?
Yeah, Yayo.
Excuse me.
You roll into a
hold
ball
on.
like Sonic.
Yeah, we learned today we could literally fastball special year.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to think of any alternative, but I swear there is probably one.
It's a great damn honor. You should love this.
Yeah.
The only other chuckable character would be that whisper that you have.
Yeah, true.
When I'm at a most chuckable contest and I'm Karat and Yayo walks in.
I got out of it again.
Wait, guys, have you seen Karat?
No, I don't know where he is
Where'd
right
he
now. I
go?
don't think he made it to the stream. That's so weird.
Blueby. Blueby, come here, Blueby.
Shit, it's more
Blueby, you're missing the
I have
Q&A.
notes for that guy.
We have to colonize the dungeon, Blueby.
Okay, are there any Galoins outside the dungeon, or is that a Garter situation, a special one? I did imagine there are plenty of other communities, and even if it's not specifically the cultural group Garters come from, I'm sure you will find other communities further out, though
Yeah.
not many that Garternus has been able to find or know, so yeah.
And like I don't think Karat's situation is exactly unique.
Yeah, yeah. It's certainly unique in the choice of people, but even that might not be super unique.
But Bluey, you're like the fourth one we've got. Don't fail me.
Yeah. I'm sure you can learn. Oh God, got it. It's painful how easy it is.
Dude, I love doing the Morgosh voice so much.
Oh fuck.
Random aside. We were playing Yakuza 2 silly mode, right? Last year for us. We this was around the time that Decol was wrapping up, and as a result, we were doing. We're just finished. We were doing the Morgosh voice a lot. And if you go back to that stream, we managed to keep it together through most of the game, and that game has a lot of extremely racially insensitive shit happening. And at some point, you will hear the moment that I think it's Christian and I crack.
It cracks.
Yeah, it cracks, and we break into full-on just Morgosh. Like, it breached containment for a moment after months of being good.
Yeah.
Keeping that shit to ourselves for a moment, that man broke out into the real world.
Yeah. And then we quickly sealed it back up. So
then we sealed it back up where it belongs.
Someone in chat asked this, but it was also in our list of previous questions. The fact that everyone is both playing their characters and essentially GM at the same time is incredible. Did any complications pop up during this process? The narration style, I think, is the big question here.
There are literally during the whole Ganglion fight, there was like no Stray Gay narration because I was doing a lot of out of character stuff for my moves. And so there was just like Stray Gay was not journaling at all due to that, and it's mostly because out of everyone here, I'm the one guy who doesn't GM frequently, and so it's this thing of narration has never been my strong suit. I'm more of a dialogue man. I'm really good at dialogue. Narration, I'm like, he throws the stick, fuck it, and it works because I'm playing Stray Gay. Right, because it's just like Stray Gay's just like, I don't know, I fucking beat the guy up with a stick or something. I don't know. That's just the best I got. Sorry. But yeah,
it worked pretty well there. I think the only other issue was, well, I guess there was two. One was a purely technical. We had like 5 hours of audio spread between a couple sessions that got wiped, and I had to do re-recording for a lot of that with Tiny. Beyond that, first episode, I sort of was like very much like, I didn't want to walk in and be like, all right, you guys have to narrate like this. So I gave it's an option. Everyone basically started doing it by the end of session 1. So I went back and was like, hey guys, the one little bit of re-recording I really want to do is can you just record these few out of character lines that I couldn't cut and just do them again as in character with narration. So there's a little bit of that in episode 1, 2, and then it kind of just after by the time like we are now, we're basically just doing all the narration in person. It kind of just became a thing for the game.
It took a second to kind of get the vibe of what you were asking for, because when I initially kind of understood it as like, oh, it's like we're narrators, as in pulled back reading a storybook to somebody. So my Gartrinist narrations were very much that way. If you've ever, for those who have played Metaphor Refantasio, every time you like move between locations and the guy's like, and the verdant trees moved in the breeze as birds moved by. And it was like, yeah, that. And then afterwards, getting in a couple hours to be like, oh, incorrect. And redoing those. But also, in terms of like narration, interesting stuff, I guess I can talk about the unique gift that Gartrinus has, because it's come up already, and how that works in an interesting way in comparison to how Decol's normally narrated. Or would that be like spoilers? I ask you, Christian.
Gosh, I think it might be spoilers, but like I don't know. It's
Sure, because I guess we haven't had the text of it come on screen how that gift works. But I will say, my background for GMing is largely podcast style. Or it's like if it is on stream, it's like backdrops. It's not like full maps being explored. So there's a degree.
We did get the secret word gift actually. That one's been on screen. It just happened, yeah. So yeah, no. Basically, that style was very
yeah. So the way that gift works for people who don't quite remember is when I use that ability to kind of ask about somebody's past, I become the GM for that scene as we play through, and so I GM in my style, and I just do that without thinking about the implications of what that would mean. Hey, at any point, you could have stopped me and been like, hey, Nathan, actually, the way that goes doesn't work. And I'd be like, oh, my bad, sorry. But y'all just lapped it up because you were enthralled by it. So don't be.
You were too enthralled by my artistry to stop. So you are as complacent in it as me.
So true, though.
So true. Just screenshot of me crying in the Foundry chat at some point.
But like, remember by the I think when the rock fell on
who the fuck? What the fuck is his name again? Ganglion.
Ganglion. When the rock fell on Ganglion, I think that was the end of session 2, our second session.
Yes.
And I think by the end of second session, we started to get into into the swing of narrating in the style that we do now.
Yeah.
Like, pretty easily.
Oh yeah, it definitely we definitely get a rhythm for it after the fact. Just to say the sequence you saw where we kind of like me and Arcat had like a discussion and kind of built that scene where we learned what Quat Auha was as a thing, and the way that it's been edited means that all of my kind of like questions and that kind of like I guess above table back and forth doesn't show up in the edit, which makes perfect sense because then it's all in consistent style. I don't want to. This is a request that you can absolutely say no to because you work so hard to make such a wonderful product. I would love if there was like a Patreon bonus content that is just audio, like those GM segments just sliced out as audio, because I think some
they
of that
are great on
I
their
genuinely
own, right?
love and would
You
like
kind
people
of
to
see
see.
those, yes. Because I was thinking of for future Patreons. I've got my Patreon chat now. I do post some things. I post the cut for Gen Con. In the future, I plan to post a couple of sections where we do out-of-game discussion about important things going on, because I still think that's very good and important stuff. Potentially one day when Decal's done, I might do like a supercut of that kind of stuff as well. But for now, I'm hoping to be able to post some of the Garchinus stuff when we get to it, along with the very first introduction explanation I did. So yeah, hopefully we'll look forward to that. How many sessions have you played so far, or have you already finished a campaign? We're done. We finished.
We finished it like December of last year.
Yeah, to get an idea of how long the pipeline's taken to set up, it's like it only started releasing a couple of months ago.
Yeah. Do you want the reason why there was such a delay between is because partly through editing, I think the second session, when they all sat around the table, we went, no one's moved in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We just do portraits.
We need to do portraits. We were originally going to kind of do it a bit more like 13th God, but I'm glad we did it this way because it's really, portraits changed the game so much. It's been so useful to do that, I do see some more comments in chat. I'm going to go back to the ones we had deployed here first, though. What was the creative process for Decal Dungeons setting collaborative, or was it all the GM? Very interesting, actually. This is a setting that I'm very, very invested in. I did a lot of like personal lore after we started doing it, but the very start of the game, we ran in a dialect TTRPG, which is essentially a word generation, culture generation type of one-off game you play about the death of a culture. And we played through that to get all of the stuff established, and it helped establish so many different things we see throughout the game. And it was a huge input there. And as time goes on, I allowed different people to kind of just make up stuff, which is just, I think the most important part about GM collabing is like sometimes your players will be like, yo, this is a thing I thought of. And you're like, yeah, that's cool. Let's do that. And so giving them the ability to kind of,
Source, I made it the fuck up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There have been some really delightful and engaging questions from like listeners in the Discord, kind of asking about how the literal and metaphorical physics of the world work, and it's an interesting thing doing that, like, as somebody where we've not like written it author style, but have kind of like made decisions about things that are true in the moment. So it feels kind of like I could give an answer here about what I think is true, but also I don't know. Is we just made it up? It could be what you want it to be. An empowering answer or deeply unsatisfying. I'm still unsure.
It's a mix in my mind where, as a GM, I take what is given and then I loop it back into stuff that is established, and that's how I keep my own, like, feeling of storytelling, lore, adventure, and other stuff. If I let something pass, it's because it's possible. Is the way I think about it as a GM. But yeah, just like how the Frog God was written out of existence. Shut up. No, they're real. How has having Melon as a DMPC impacted how you feel about play? Did you ever feel like a side character in Melon's story, or does she enhance the story in a fun way? I think that's for you guys.
I hate this fucker. No. This is like, imagine this is like the mask off moment where I reveal it's just like, dude, I fucking hate this elf so much. this greedy bitch.
So I will have to say about Melon, the reasons I really like Melon as DMPC have not been revealed yet in the story, so I cannot say much. But she adds so much to the setting and the lore and like everything about the story. And that's as much as I can say without spoiling anything.
Yeah. I'm like, the short answer is no, absolutely not. The longer answer is you will see.
You can go, Neon. You first.
Sure. I'm not used to the idea of such an extensively involved DMPC in games I have played, but being very used to the Stabbiness brand TM of like actual play kind of design, where this style of DMPC is quite common across most campaigns run and like external. So I was like, it's happening. I am experiencing the DMPC firsthand. I love her. She's great.
It's
in that way, it's been really, really cool. I like her. Also, yeah, spoilers. Some of the relationship between her and the other characters hasn't really fully blossomed yet, and you'll get to look forward to that shit.
It's the biggest level of you will see. God, it's so good.
Like I will say it 20 million times, as I'll say it again. Your GM has a right to participate in the story as much as you do. Maybe even more than you do as a privileged player. And I think that's something we do fantastically on this channel in a very healthy amount, because it's like Daisuisan is an extreme case. If you think Melon is a lot, if you look at Melon and go, damn dude, how do they do that? Look at Daisuisan. Hit channel on the thing, ran by Christian, which is
our longest game.
Our longest game. Much Daisuisan, and it's just, I don't know, I Christian and Jay have done fantastic ways of just being included in the story, and I, as their friend, love playing aside them. And with Melon being such an ever-present thing, it's like I am playing along with my good friend Christian, who I enjoy. And also the reasons Melionus is amazing hasn't shown up yet. And I'm excited for everyone to see how crazy she gets. She dies next episode. Don't worry.
You keep saying that, and I'm gullible.
That's because everyone dies next episode, and we switch party, and then we actually are the people colonizing the dungeon. We triple fake out. We go back to colonized dungeon, and
that's where my personal experience gets to really translate into. Did I see that series with Brendan episode where it's just a platonic dialogue? Yes, absolutely. It's kind of incredible.
Yeah.
Never visible, not provable, 100% poll result with like 100 viewers on making a decision. It was incredible. But another question, thank you all. Another question will be, when will Ganglion become the true mascot of the entire Stabbiness organization? Never. Since the dungeon is live, does the dungeon store at night? No. The ending song carries a lot of significance for a huge chunk of the cast. Strege with his dual blood, Melon in her condition, and Garchinoth with his everything, but Yayo and Arkart are harder to place. Were those characters made with the theme mind in 2, or were they like alienated somehow, or is Ogre just too stupid to read the themes of Ulysses? Don't worry, Ogre will understand Finnegan's Wake. Yes, every character was designed with it in mind. You will just have to wait and see other characters playing through. I made that song thinking about the Wii, after all. So I'm excited to see more play and have it continue to build up. And some people are like, damn, this song kind of makes me feel emotional. I was like, yeah, just wait. No. I'm glad you like it though.
Chad, I really respect the genuinely hard-hitting questions. Good fucking work.
These have been really, really good. I hope I can get through all of them because there's a lot of good ones. So please share any Clip Studio Paint magic tricks, please. Neko, without like having to pull up and show, what are some really quick, easy ones you figured out from doing this?
Quick and easy.
There's a thing called a pen.
Maybe not so quick.
You draw. Don't learn to animate in CS Paint. How about that?
Yeah, don't use tweening animation in CS Paint. Move your assets around from Clip Studio into something else.
Because for those who don't know, the boss fight in the latest episode, the 2 sprites for it, were all animated in Clip Studio Paint.
Mm-hmm. Which is not an animation program.
It is. Yep. No, it is an animation program for specifically 2D, like hand-drawn animation. It has the bare minimum amount of tweening capability.
Didn't you do there is no tweening too?
Yeah. Yes. There is no easing, so every movement in there is hand, like the momentum is hand done. I think I did the first master assembly form before it had transparent GIFs. We had to export the image sequences and merge them in a website.
Yeah.
Good old easy GIF.
GIF is indeed something.
Yeah, if you ever do a long form program, like a project like this that includes a lot of like assets, one vector layers are your friend because they let you rescale your lines and then not destroy in quality. And also make temporary files to work out what size everything needs to be before you lock in.
My one job.
We sure did have to remake a load of them.
I said, Neko was coming from my one job by throwing her tablet at her computer, and it still works.
Yeah. So, another question here is specifically, what are some inspirations for Decolonize Dungeon? Like, what were some things that inspired making it? There's a lot. It's kind of hard to remember at this point. Some of them. It's a lot of what we were watching at the time. I did the research on like real world colonialism and stuff like that as well. I'd already read on the subject in the past, so I had to kind of like go back and like look up some things too. I looked up. I had a bunch of research for weirdly No Home in Twilight, where I was looking up hex crawls and stuff, and it brought me down a weird rabbit hole. There's all sorts of strange trivia I know about how fucking weird and racist random bits of D&D were, either intentional or not, which is always a thing. But also there is one, I think, big thing I could point out, which is a kind of an interesting source. The idea to make the show from the very, very start actually came from a manga called The Dragon, the Hero, and the Courier by Gregorius Yamada, which is this guy who does like European fucking martial arts in Japan and does like LARPing there. And essentially it was an entire show that was just about the like real world medieval kind of like shipping and the things you would need to do in order to like feel a hypothetical fantasy adventuring party. It also has a placid green elf in there, and that was like a visual that I was like, I like that. But I think the big thing about it too is the idea of like seeing some of the postscripts and stuff talking about like the clash between a newer growing society and old like fantasy or more like traditional medieval ways, and sort of the detail put in that inspired me. I was like, yeah, I kind of like that. And it got me thinking too of like how that would be the case in like tabletop games, and also the sort of growth of a sort of old school role play into like, you know, a sort of new style of type of tabletop games you see around. So that was that manga rules. Yeah, I love that manga. I love a lot of people know and love that manga. It kind of makes sense why you're here. Yeah. So if you felt that, then that was definitely a big thing. There's a few other things, like I know I watched Apothecary Diaries, and I'm sure there's DNA there.
I see that now that you mention it.
Yeah.
Our hatred of Wizards of the Coast.
Yes, hatred of Wizards of the Coast.
I think the language also kind of formed a little bit of some of the history in Decolonize Dungeon.
Yes, and weirdly, a lot of the inspiration for the story kind of came from what we just generated and worked around the table in the session 0. And the last one, I would say, a very specific call it, is I did a lot of reading on Somali and Manso poetry for a specific character that shows up later, which is a fun one. So that's like the other one there, yeah.
There's one more inspiration, specifically Yakuza 0, and the character of Sagawa inspires maybe the most heartbreaking scene in the game.
Shut the fuck up! Why are you that's gonna be like years. Okay.
We have the false inspiration as the anime came out after Decal finished, and that is Zenshu. Zenshu stole from us.
Yeah.
No, as we were wrapping up Decal as well, like Metaphor Reef Fantasio just came out. We were kind of like, we are definitely striking while the iron's hot about using high fantasy as a metaphor to talk about real world stuff. And I think that definitely did channel some of the kind of like thinking about or contextualizing the campaign as a whole for me near the end of its run. But it was very interesting when you initially approached me about this, Christian, because we'd met in person for the first time at a Gen Con in 2023. We really got on. We made little Warhammer characters with each other. It was great. And we chatted there about kind of like, hey, would love to do a project with each other at some point in the future. And then a little down the line after that, you messaged me being kind of like, hey, so I'm working on this fantasy game that is essentially exploring kind of like racial conflict through fantasy races. Are you in? And I was like, we've definitely talked enough already where you know that I don't like fantasy as a genre. And my previous experience with tabletop RPGs trying to talk about race relations has been fraught to bad. Shadowrun is a very popular game, but people really don't look at how they talk about like orcs in that setting. There is orc-exploitation films in there, and the thing is one-to-one. It's a terror. So when that message, I genuinely like got it from my desk and went away for a little bit. It was kind of like, I really, really want to work with them so bad. Dream come true, but this idea? And I'm so glad I did. And obviously I trust you, but like...
I understand. I enjoyed immediately after Decal in how every single player was like, man, I'm glad that went good. I didn't know if I was this scared me. I was scared when you pitched this, man. I was like, so true. I'm glad you all trusted me with that.
I was scared as the artist as well. I was going, okay.
It's like I feel like the piss. Like walking in and already being a little upset with fantasy to begin with only worked in everything. To be honest.
Like Decolonize Dungeon was the like temp name of the show. It wasn't the like actual real name, and we were like, we'll think of it eventually. And eventually Christian was just like, no, I think it should just be the name of the show. And that was like mid-recording, and I was like, if this thing blows dick, I'm gonna tell Christian to change the name. And then at the end, I was like, okay, Christian, I raised my hands. We're not changing the name. You did good enough. And it's just like, yeah.
So you heard it here first. We did good enough. So look forward to the next 2 years.
2 years. God, because like, how many sessions did we record? Do you want to say that?
I think I can say it. We recorded about 16. You'll actually see as the game goes on, whenever a new chapter pops up, every session is a chapter. So we just started session 3 with chapter 3, Break the Wheel, right here. So I think moving on. I guess there's a few questions I see about lore and character stuff, but I think I'll skip those for now, just because I think there's actually a lot of these that will get answered as the game goes on. Like there's some I see, oh, you'll learn that then, you'll learn that then. So I'll just skip some of those for a bit. So let me just go scroll a bit down a little bit. To the GM, have there been moments where players have completely impressed you and how they have found a solution to an issue that made derail your original plans? Do you have any tips to yes and in a situation? I think it's kind of funny because in this case, I had a short enough, contained enough setting that I literally just made it, the entirety of it, like all the maps and all the dungeon stuff at once, and kind of even, I realized going through, I always set it up where there's a boss like, hey, this boss, and then this boss, and then this boss, and then this boss, and it kind of like keeps going where I always try to throw a hook. But they did throw me a curveball pretty early on in how they decided to advance through like the dungeon. And honestly, I don't think the advice of just make everything is usually an applicable thing. So I think it's just a special case here. But usually, like, I guess I'd just usually be like, okay, yes, go along with it, because breaking order is a really, really fun fantasy in tabletop games. You should lead into it, but just like make sure you actually have the time to do that. So like maybe give them a yes, but also you need to do this first, and this thing like, they need to do is honestly, something they're already prepped for, you know?
If you're not like a streamed game like us, the hypest thing for a player is them doing an action and then the GM having to sit there with their fingers steepled and going, that's where we end off this week, as I figure out how the fuck do I navigate this situation, and the players go, whoa, and they're hyped for like you to find the solution for next week. So like you can take your time if you're not
you don't
on
need
us
to
with
fill 4 hours
with gun to your head, audience in front of you. You know, you can.
Aloha.
Turns out that making television is different and hard.
Yes. Aloha, then why, my wonderful player? Whenever I say, and that's where we'll end, you threaten violence.
Because it's never about me doing something that changes the world. It's about you doing something that changes the world, and then you deciding when to stop. This isn't empowering at all. This is actually not what I'm talking about.
So, a few more to that. Let's see. What's your favorite piece of world building that we'll never see? Look, man, there's some really cool bug lore in Decal Dungeon. You will never see it. Trust, though, it's awesome. It's great. What exactly was the process for building characters in this campaign? Did the PCs jump from all knowing they were going to be a Galoin? If so, how much of the specific Galoin culture was influenced by PC decisions and character creation? Yes, it was. I mean, I already mentioned the kind of brief. If you guys want to talk a bit more about what it was like on your side, feel free. But
I admit that I was a horrible player, in the fact that when I don't have an idea for a character, the odds of me just being like, yeah, I probably won't play. And there was a time where I was thinking about dropping out of Decal Dungeon because I was busy and didn't have a character idea. And so it was this thing of like, I had some concept and I was like, I don't know what to do. And that is reflected somewhat in Stray Gay's kit of literally being this evolving kind of thing. Like we saw, like how he had his like, his seeing ability where he can tell lies and everything. While like Gartrinus had like the sewing stuff, Arcat had like the bow, and then like Yayo had the capitalism. I didn't really have an idea, and it wasn't till like we had a meeting. I remember vividly. I was playing Power Wash, and I was just listening to everyone else go through their character, and then Christian turns to me and goes, so Aloha, what were you thinking about playing? And I go, oh shit, man, I don't know. I did fucking this, and then I like flung it on the table, and everyone's like, oh, that's really cool. That's dope. That's like really interesting. I'm like, yeah, past that, no clue. And then I just walked into the session. And even when Neko was like, so what were you thinking about your character looks like? And I'm like, I got no fucking clue. I have no idea. Just winged it. Yeah, I was just like, wing it. I know this is not helpful at all. I have zero idea. And yeah.
if I can tout perhaps one of the advantages of my own system for a second, you can do that in Sentiment. You can literally figure it out after session 2 or 3. You can figure out what your attributes are named, even what direction you want to move in. So like, if you are ever undecided but just want to play the fucking game, do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do it. Figure it out as you go. You don't need an idea to go in.
It enables my worst behaviors, because I remember I was playing in one of Tiny's games, and I didn't write a backstory till like session 3. Because I was like, I'm just going to play, figure out how it is, and then afterwards fling a backstory at Tiny, which turned out very well because it helps you like tie your character into the world a lot more. But also it's just like, you know.
I mean, it was fine. It turned out to be really hype and changed the entire game from then on.
Yeah, my controversial opinion is, if your GM can make it work and everybody agrees, there is no reason to not do that if it's what suits your playing style. It's all about accommodating for your players and the way they engage with the game.
Which one? Not a streamed one? It was a streamed one. It was Queen's Watch. Ye old Queen's Watch back in like 2019 or some shit.
It was older than that. I think it was 2018.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my experience, so yeah. I forget what the question was, so.
Kind of,
It was basically, did you
how
know
we
you'd
felt
be
about
playing,
being Galoins and working out that.
Oh,
that,
dude,
like,
there was a fear I had, and I always have this fear when going into games where, because typically the TTRPG player mindset, unless you're Tiny, is you go into a game, you see the prompt, and you go, how can I not follow that prompt? How can I make this prompt weird, right? Like, obviously, there are like many cases about it. Tiny is the exception because Tiny always plays the prompt to a fucking T. And you can see that with Arcat, you can see that with Willow, and Tiny is just like perfect because he embodies everything that you want. And so, but most players aren't like that. And so when I was making Strege and I was like, I don't know, I'm doing this thing where he's like half Galoin, right? I was scared that other party members would be like, what if I wasn't a Galoin either? Really? And then we would just like half of the party would be like, I'm just a random guy, I'm a human or some shit, like some wild shit, right? Which I don't think Christian would allow, but that's always the fear, right?
Yeah,
and so I was just like,
it's me, player 4 Morgash.
Yeah, it's like, but thankfully everyone like, you know, went with very normal ideas, and I was just like, thank God the only idea I have of being this mixed race character actually works.
I suppose in a way, Malinius kind of stole that role, so it wasn't really possible for anyone else to fill that niche, which was sort of like, I wouldn't say intentional. Like if someone wanted to, I might have let them, but I was very insistent on. I really wanted everyone to play Galoins in this community. So even if they were like playing a human, it would have probably had to be like the weirdest fucking human ever who was like an native in this place and like in Galoin, like
Tarzan.
Like he was like raised by wolves. He's like a wild man. Raised by Galoins. You can't even speak human. See, and it would still work. It would still work, but it definitely would have been a bit strange. Okay. You want to share any thoughts for specific assets so far? Yes, for one. Hey, Munch. How about that rock, huh? How about that slime man?
What kind of rock was it?
Wait, I want to tell them a bit about this.
It was a rock I found in a lake. It was pretty cool. I liked it. I have it. It's my rock. It was hefty and good size. I had another rock we tried that was a little rounder and kind of had sparkles to it. It was cool looking.
What about the goo?
I didn't finish talking about my rocks.
You guys don't understand. Monichi comes back from like a rock convention and just goes, hey, it just starts talking to me and traps me in a cutscene. Just goes, yeah, and then there's this rock, which is this kind of rock, and I have to sit there.
You look so interested.
I was. How'd you know?
You said you liked the rock. You said it was really cool.
But what about that goo, though?
Anyway, the goo. It was just Elmer slime. So originally I made a mold for a totally different project regarding ganglion, because I was just like, I want to try making a squishy ganglion. I haven't gotten to that point yet. I did cast him in plaster.
Beautiful
We have a
mold.
plaster casted ganglion, and he's just chilling. We were gonna try to crush that, and I didn't think it was going to crush well under a rock. So I was just like racking my brains for forever trying to figure out like, how do I make this mold work? How do I get like maybe gelatin to stay just for a moment so we can film this and it'll just like crush? And then I was like, we don't even have to use the mold. We could just we just build little slime man and crush him. And
Yeah.
that's what we did.
Except he wouldn't crush even then, and we had to make a trapdoor in order to actually make the scene look.
And I cut a hole in the floor. And we destroyed a Wizards of the Coast set to do it.
Oh yeah, we had all that was a
Very
Wizards of the
important,
Coast
very
terrain
important.
set, so it was very important to break it to
Symbolic.
pieces.
Yeah.
It's one I'd had for like 10, 15 years, because of course I got caught up in like, oh wow, it's so cool they made this. I can use this for my D&D game. Never did. Like did it once.
And we recycled it.
Yeah, we recycled it afterwards, so it's good. Hopefully it'll be used to make a better system. Anyways,
The sprays.
how much of a session is usually cut for? Oh yeah.
I did watch the clip multiple times. It's crazy how he disappears in like 2 frames.
Yeah.
The rock goes down, he's gone.
Yeah, it worked very well.
The whole clip of it is just like, it finally works because there's that blooper reel of us like dropping the rocks and he just kind of like and that final one, I was like, okay, we're gonna try this last thing. We've recorded the others, we can maybe make the other ones work, but we're gonna try this. It's worth the try. Set it up, drop the rock, disappears completely. The sound, we used it in the video because it was the perfect sound. And we just both start screaming, yeah!
But yeah, no, that's a bit of a stuff on that.
I think there's a link in that question. I think it's also I think it says life story designed. I'm guessing the journals.
Yeah.
Do we have any notes? I'm a popsicle curly laugh. Don't laugh.
That was just the portrait the used for the sorry.
That was the best portrait in the show. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not beating the Mary portrait.
The live journals were essentially Neko making a GIF off of a base standard for everyone, and then I added some effects over it on Vegas, and that was pretty. But it was pretty. Simple.
Everyone has unique designs. I think I went and bothered everyone to go, hey, what do you want your book to look like?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen 2 questions about this. Are you going to make merch life journals, or are you going to make Galoin plush? That's money. I don't know if I can do that.
So
If we could.
let me
Show.
I can talk about the logistics of it, right?
Yeah.
So what you can do to make us do that, right, is you can tell all your friends to watch the show, support the show on Patreon, which you can see down below is Christian Civet on Patreon. You can find the link many places, and give Christian money. And then maybe this show is gonna, due to the editing style and everything like that, it's gonna take some time, right? Because it's a sessions cut up into 30 minutes, and we will have an answer for you in maybe a year. In a year's time, we will see how the show's doing, how much interest there is, and then we will make merch based off that. So it's your job, the viewer, right, to peddle our wares, tell people about this show. Tell your friends, and then maybe due to the actions you all took, we can make a ganglion plush.
You have to act much like Yayo and peddle wares to the adventurers, aka your friends.
You really crashed and burned that by saying ganglion plush at the end there.
Yes, we want to make merch so bad.
Yeah, we want to.
Yeah, so tell 5 your friends, tell 5 of their friends, or else they're going to die tomorrow.
Get hit by the
Send them by
Like,
email.
be nice.
Yeah. And send like a tiny URL link to the show in the email as well. I
Yeah.
think that'll really go over well. Because playlist links can be pretty long. Anyways, yeah. How much of the session is usually cut for the sake of pacing and staying in character? So very little actually, not too much.
Mm-hmm.
I would say in a full like maybe 5-hour session, I might only cut like 30 minutes at most.
I mean, that's because we take
like-
frequent breaks as well. Where
That's the
it's
thing.
like,
That's the thing too. Is like we take frequent breaks, and we just cut out the breaks. There's occasional flubs that will add up, of course. Sometimes there are pauses
Towers.
because
Towers.
sometimes there are pauses because without facial recognition, it can be hard to know who's gonna talk or who's rearing up to talk and stuff like that.
And then Discord delay.
Yeah. So it's definitely like a bit of a thing there. But no, otherwise I try to keep in mostly everything that's not like OOC chatter. So yeah. What was the inspiration for the adventuring party, and why did you have a rogue that ate shit and died?
Big question.
I don't want to explain the rich narrative behind that. When it takes from the experience of engaging with the art to take such fine crafted narrative and lay it out. But they're all bad D&D archetypes and marketing archetypes, etc. Fun story about Reese.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if I told any of my players. Reese mostly resembles the very first player character I ever played in D&D.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's crazy.
You're disgusting.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I played a guard, like from a town, so a cop, that went on an adventure with people, and he didn't want to kill people, so he walked around and walked into their homes with handcuffs and handcuffed them, and tried to train beasts to be loyal allies to the party. You can kind of see, like, back then I was like, no, he's a good guy, he doesn't want to kill people, but like, again, the idea of him going into these places and then doing all this, it's really later I was like, damn, that is kind of a wild thing. It's wild I played this kind of character at some point. I should do that again and kind of lampshade myself as the core of that. And also, fun story, that character died at the very end of that story by getting betrayed by a Dragonborn and a PC in the party, PvP, and then getting fed to dragons after getting sunlocked to death. And I'm like, you know what? Ain't based, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, chatters, I've seen a lot of people cry about the rogue's death. Would you have cared if she was not a beautiful bosomed lady? If Morgash died, would you have shed a tear? I think that's unfair. And I just want to call you out on it.
That's a pretty bad comparison, to be honest. I'd cry for Morgash.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, say like syrup or something, then.
Yeah, there is syrup. There you go.
Oh my god, we're not even here with Stirrup yet. There's so much.
Yeah. This is
the tiny bit of like Mary design lore. I think I wanted. Okay, there's two bits of Mary design lore. One is we did not know what to do with the character originally, like to just design with originally. And there's at one point Christian forgot this because I was going through my files and I went, why do I have Suicune in my reference files? I think at one point we were joking around as just putting Suicune in there.
I think what happened was like I had just been added to the server. You guys were telling me all about it, and then like I think I came home from work one day, and I think Neko was just like, "Hey, who do you think we should add as like the fourth member to this party?" And I'm like, "Suicune." 100% kidding. I didn't think they were gonna do that.
I think the other bit of Mary design lore is me just going, I'm just going to try and make, at least especially in this group of Morgosh, the least Neko looking group I can try.
Yeah, I think that was a big part of it too.
Because it was right after people kept saying all of my characters look really tiny.
Right, so
Neko's true power is unknown.
Yes. What I'm looking at, I'm gonna get a few more questions I've got lined up. I already got them selected. Then I'll give a final floor for anything maybe the players want to talk about or say, and then we'll view fan art. So just a few more, very important on the last list of questions. Would you consider yourself a doer or a maker?
Oh, a maker.
I'm a doer.
A maker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maker.
That's the problem. Yeah. This is the core problem. I'm a doer. Okay.
I'm a doer.
Yeah.
But when you're in a call of makers, but you do things.
I'm just making sure I stand out.
I don't do things.
Yeah. Why don't you do some making, Aloha?
Why don't you make some do?
I do that every day.
It's what I made.
Spent my entire professional career, like my actual day job, trying to move from doer to maker. So I'm like,
so fair. Neko, do you think you're a maker or a doer?
Probably a doer. Just tell me what to draw.
Yeah. Renee.
Same here. I make do.
Make her cross because I don't do enough sometimes.
Fair. So, do you plan, once the series complete, plan on ever running a show in this kind of style again? I would very much love to see the works to show works to friends. It's a very exactly the same thing Aloha had said before. It will really depend because like the show's expensive. It takes a lot of time, and I'd love to try something like this with a crew. I've seen other projects online do stuff kind of like this with a larger crew, and it's really cool to see what they can do. I'm actually just really proud of how much I'm able to get done just with me and Neko for the most part on the actual like editing portion of it. So we kind of go over time just to make sure that it all kind of gets done. And I already have a bunch of patrons that without Patreon support already, this would not be possible. And still working in debt to try to like get back up for things like the opening, which was animation's expensive, y'all, but it's also super worth it. It's super cool. We could make an entire video just about the opening, which we might do. I think that would be pretty fun.
I think we could do that. It's like the time frame of working on the opening was from February up until like a week before Gen Con. Which we hit our goals with that, so we were happy about that.
But it was definitely like, if we ever wanted to do a project like that, it would require full-time hours from all of us again, and also that. So it's like, this may very well just be a very special thing that we only get once. So please, I hope you enjoy it like that. And if we ever get to do something like this again, I'd be super grateful and I'd be super happy. And a good segue here. Since this might be a good segue, favorite piece of fan art? I love them all. But there's a really fun. There was one that made me laugh the most. It's the last in the Ember. I'm excited. So, anyways, let's switch to that.
Fan art. Thank you, Christian, for putting this together. I assumed it was Christian. First off, from Pooji, we have a creature.
These creatures. Also, like, it's so funny. It's really good how everyone just kind of understood the lore. Wasn't this made after episode 1?
Yes, this was made basically after episode 1.
Yeah,
they'd already basically kind of pictured. And I love it because there was all this stuff, and I was like, this is basically what where like Sayadnop is a glowing from a different society, different group, and she's got the full body fur too. And so as I was seeing this design, I was like, this is all just potentially just canon, honestly. And that was awesome to see someone like do that. I loved seeing all the OC stuff, but oh yeah, that was you got the beasts and then the actual Galoins that live there as well.
Yeah, entirely theoretical desert, no climate, Galoin design. Yep.
Yeah.
This could be canon.
I enjoyed the fact that like further decline of fur patterns over time, resulting in very, very patchy and barely kind of there is pretty good too. Even though the desert gets cold at night, I still think it's just interesting to see that, because especially with some other lore stuff that we get into later, it's very fitting, and I just kind of love it. Thank you, Ruben.
Then we have a Strigay.
Let's go.
Then Good to Live. And then a Yayo.
And wait, it's on fire.
Don't worry about it. And then from Radio.
Woo! Good OC. Absolutely.
I love that icon so much.
I love it so much.
And then we have a little stray gay flush from Storm Dragon. Some loser made this one.
I know who. Checks.
Some guy. Oh wait, I gotta refresh. Don't worry, I loaded this up a while ago, so let me just scroll down. Then from the radio, letter. I get the reference. Arcat. I almost forgot our name.
Rocks.
Oh, and this is an OC by Snack Daddy.
Yeah,
they made a
OC.
living fungus colony kind of assembled, and wrote like gifts and attributes and everything. It's really
That's awesome.
And then from Deary's sister, are you making clothes? That's Gual. You're Gual.
Whoa.
utterly incredible character read. When I saw this, I just started fucking breaking down laughing at a call. It was incredible.
It is amazing.
And, yeah.
We go.
I just wanted to
We
say
explained what Gual meant, right?
No.
not
We
quite
explained
yet.
Gualic. But
No,
we explained
not yet.
Gualic.
Even
No,
it's not even
No.
explained yet. No. So, there was other fan art. I did not get approval. I see Pupcat dude. You did some. I did not get approval from you at the time, so I didn't put it in. There's other people who have as well. If I get approval for using any fan art stuff, next time we do a stream, I will be going through and adding all of those in as well. So there's also some cool art on Blue Sky people did under the Decal Dungeon tag in the Discord. You can, if you search hard and wide and you can find it, it's good stuff. I love it all. It always makes me very happy. I really appreciate being able to see everyone do this stuff, and I'm glad we got to do this stream to finally kind of like talk about stuff and show it off. I'm really looking forward to the next opportunity we get to do
I
this.
commend all of you for having to deal with drawing the forearms.
Yeah.
Is it shield time? Maybe.
I think it's show time. Yeah. We've already shilled my Patreon a lot and done all that. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate that. But also, we got some more stuff we do on the channel. We got some other things we do as well.
What?
Like one show that's coming out in a releasing yet another episode next week on Tuesdays, every Tuesdays. For the
You
most
might
part,
you
it
might
is-
actually recognize some people in that show that's coming out on Tuesday. If you show up for Reflection this Tuesday, and this Tuesday alone, you might recognize a certain person from this game over
Exactly.
there.
Jingling.
Yeah. Ganglion. That's where he went. He got his
Isekai!
Sent through the ground so hard.
Please
clipped
come
through the
check
world.
it out. We
Raccoon
just
got him.
finished- we just finished a wonderful dungeon delving section that all of my players loved to death.
Maybe
They loved it. They loved it so much.
maybe say the name of
And
the
we're gonna
show.
do more of it next week.
He-
Wait. I did. It's
He
called
called his
Reflection.
dungeon.
It's called Thrilling Intent, my friend. That's right. Check it out Tuesday, 8 p.m. This channel. Also, similarly, if you want to know more about the rules that power this, go check out the Sentiment Patreon. They're up for free over there, and they're gonna get regular updates. We're testing them every single week in not only Reflection but Necro Veritas. And we're we're having experiences with them. So come watch.
Yeah. And Neon, you're working on something pretty cool too, aren't you?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, I also design tabletop RPGs, and my current, if you want to obtain my tabletop RPGs in general, you can get them for very reasonable amounts of money at theneoncaster.itch.io. That is theneoncaster.itch.io. I place it in chat. But also, my next big project, after releasing lots of kind of small scale games, I have actually managed to get my big game, my one that is designed to be a hardback available in stores, actually picked up by a publisher. So this November, mid to late November, will be the pre-release version, so an entirely free or like pay what you want PDF of City of Espers. It is a playing card based tabletop RPG that I would describe as if you've ever seen the movie The Warriors meets X-Men meets Splatoon. It is about a bunch of disenfranchised psychics who have had to leave their previous communities and have moved to Xena City to form newfound family. They form houses of like-minded individuals and get into fun anime battles against each other. As part of the kind of like a celebration of the game being released, there's also going to be an edited two-part actual play recording that will be available. I wonder where I got that idea from. Featuring some members of this cast, no less, which is all very exciting. I'll be, because the game is not formally out yet, I do not have a link of that game specifically to give you, but best believe when the pre-release is available, I will be yelling. But until then, hey, if you enjoyed my performance on a Decolonize Dungeon, you'd like to see more of my work and support me, please do buy my games. I am poor.
I need that tagline after everything I say.
Yeah. But yes, anyone else got anything they want to shout out, shill out, dish out? You want to fight?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
let's fight with it right now.
Let's go.
Wanna fight?
Let's
At the
fucking
Denny's
go.
parking lot right now.
I
Get up from my chair to go to your room, but I have to end stream soon. So
yeah.
But no, I think that's it.
I think that's it too. Thank you all for stopping by. Really glad to chat with you all and answer questions and do stuff. I hope you found this informative and fun.
I feel the parasocial relationships emerging already, and I've never felt more healthy.
All right, bye bye everyone.
Bye.
Farewell.
Bye.
Good night.